Come into the newsroom. Halloween night this year will be much different for a South Jordan family.
It is their first since their 9-year-old son was hit and killed while riding an e-bike along 114th South this summer. They spoke exclusively to Debbie Worthen. And Debbie, we understand they have a very important message for all of us.
Yeah, their emotions are complicated. Their message is simple. Now, we're about 1.5 miles east of the district here in South Jordan. Now, you may remember it was right here along 114th South. The markers are still there right here on 114th. It happened right across from the equestrian park here. It was July 6th, and it's the day they got the horrible news that their son, a 9-year-old, and his best friend were hit by a car. Their son was killed in that crash. His friend has a very long road to recovery still ahead. Now, it's been 4 months since that dreadful day, and they are grieving the loss of their son. In their home, pictures of Braden Long are everywhere. Say he loved everything about Halloween. Last year, he dressed up as a zombie, so today's been emotional. But they're also frustrated by Utah law that only allows the driver to face misdemeanor charges. They say knowing she will likely only pay a fine isn't right. While they can't change the law today, they say they can make a plea to all of us.
I don't know how many times people can say that. I don't know how many times it can be put on the television. People need to slow down, obey the laws, watch what you're doing.
Now, the driver in this case faces negligent homicide and careless driving. Both are misdemeanor charges. They face a maximum penalty of $2,500 and up to a year in jail. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear more from them, more on how the past several months have been for them and what they really hope over the next little while here in Utah. Live at 5, I'm Debbie Worthen. Back to you.
All right, Debbie, thank you. A tragic start to the holiday for another.
Up in a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Kevin. One Utah family knows all too well the consequences of distracted driving. They lost their 9-year-old son this summer after a driver hit and killed him in South Jordan. They spoke exclusively to our Debbie Worthen for the first time. And Debbie, how are you doing tonight?
Well, Mike, they are grieving and they are frustrated. Now, right here along 114th South, you can see on this light pole, and this is just about 2200 West, there is still a big red bow to remember Braden Long and his friend. That's where they were hit on July 6th. Now, police say that an eastbound driver veered into the bike lane before hitting and then dragging the two boys. So the family's message today on their son's favorite holiday is for everyone to slow down and pay attention.
It was his favorite holiday. It really was.
The decorations are up.
He was obsessed with zombies.
The pumpkins are out.
He loved to dress up. He loved to be scary. He loved the whole experience of it.
But this year,
this Halloween it's going to be hard.
Next week will mark 4 months since Dan and Clark's 9-year-old son Braden was hit and killed while riding an e-bike along 114th South near 2200 West with his best friend Anthony Sandoval. For weeks, a makeshift memorial marked the area, but after the initial interest faded, it's been a long, quiet stretch in what was once a house full of noise and excitement. The months have brought sadness and anger over a justice system they say doesn't prosecute those who break the law.
It's sad that the laws are not in place to protect the victims.
The 44-year-old woman charged in the accident only faces misdemeanor charges, a punishment they say doesn't fit the crime, and one that leaves them feeling desperate for change with the justice system and with drivers everywhere.
I don't know how many times people can say that. I don't know how many times it can be put on the television. People need to slow down, obey the laws, watch what you're doing.
Life will never be the same.
Well, Braden's friend has undergone numerous surgeries, still has a long way to go. Braden's family says the Sandovals could still use a lot of help financially. There's still a GoFundMe page set up, and they encourage everyone to go and support them. I put a link. It's on KSL-TV.com. Back to you.
Yeah, another sad reminder just to be careful out there and pay attention. Debbie, thank you.
We have an update tonight on a work.
Louder in the days and weeks ahead. Thomas Maresca, NBC News, Seoul.
Thank you, Thomas. 2 Utahns caught in that chaos managed to escape with their lives. 26-year-old Regan, a teacher in South Korea, and her brother Rain were among the partygoers Saturday night when disaster struck. Their mother told KSL the two were packed in shoulder to shoulder before making their way out of the crowd. The University of Utah is showing their